the deepest reason there's a connection between a type and an antitype is because both communicate the same resurrection power
right.
to the faith of the Old Testament elect. Or conversely, if we want to talk about dual sanctions,
right, the same
condemn
curse.
and curse in light of a religious covenantal relation with God. So this is what Voss is saying. It has to be a symbol that communicates the same gospel power to the faith of the Old Testament Jew. And that is actually what accounts for the deepest organic connection between a type and an antitype as we escalate then to the actual coming and arrival. Now, I say it communicates the same gospel power. Let me give one qualification. The qualification is that when Christ actually comes, he's the one who secures in his life, death, and resurrection everything that those earlier
That's
symbols
necessary.
have communicated.
Can I interject here?
You may.
Thank you, Lord Brandon. One of the things they're getting at is I think an important issue, and that is, do some of these typological, let's just say, institutions like the sacrificial system, do they function one way horizontally, well, and vertically, but non-redemptive, non-soteriologically? And then, on the other hand, can we posit a distinct function for elect believers? Was something happening, Ordo Salutis kind of stuff, for some people who believed the promise? Were they receiving, was the occasion of them receiving grace from God, the participation in the sacrificial system?
Yeah, I think that's
absolutely, Rich. That's precisely where we're driving.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and here's go ahead.
No, go for it.
Okay, well, I was going to say, with reference to typology and whether or not they're merely prospective, looking forward, or also symbolic of real communication, conveyance, application of redemptive benefits to souls. My question is that true of every single type, namely every single type in the Old Testament, both points forward, and is also a symbol of a real, present, redemptive grace reality being experienced by the souls of elect believers? And I think we need to be very careful with that, because, for instance, the first type that I think most people would agree on would be Adam. Adam was a type of him who was to come. And I think Adam was a type of him who was to come in his prelapsarian state. But was Adam also symbolic? Was he receiving the grace of Christ as a type? And then Eve comes on the scene, and if we take our hermeneutical cue from the Apostle Paul, which I think we should, I think we would say Eve is a type of the church. But was Eve as a type of the church also symbolic of the reception of, Ordo Salutis type benefits? That's before the fall into sin. I don't want to go that way. I have other types before the fall into sin, but we won't discuss them. So I think we need to make careful distinctions, not putting all types in the same exact category of both prospective and at least potentially symbolic of the experience of the benefits of the mediator.